Good morning, and thank you for coming. The use of cameras in the fight against crime is not new, but like most technology, there is always room for improvement. The demands of policing today make it necessary for law enforcement to have access to the best equipment and to most practical technology. This government is determined to support the police in their role of keeping Bermuda safe. This includes the use of CCTV cameras both as a deterrent to those who would commit crimes and as an investigative tool after a crime has been committed. The police cannot be everywhere, and so the smart use of technology means more efficient management of police resources and a more cost-effective approach to policing. So let me provide the public with a bit of a background to the expansion of the CCTV network. In October 2012, the Bermuda Police Service issued an island-wide request for proposal for an island-wide CCTV system. Following an extensive and detailed procurement process, a recommendation was made to Cabinet in July of this year, and a decision was made to award the contract to BS Serco to provide the CCTV system throughout the island. This has followed 4 years during which Get Securities Limited has provided cameras and monitoring for the existing system. I want to publicly state at this point that Bermuda owes a debt of gratitude to Get Securities, who stepped in 2009 in an emergency situation when gang shootings were far more frequent and manpower within the Bermuda Police Service was stretched to capacity with response to and investigation of violent crime. The recommendation was made and approved by Cabinet was a business decision, taking into account a number of factors, and this is in no way a reflection of the standard of work that Get Securities has done in the years since the network was first installed. With this new contract, significantly wider coverage will be provided. The new contract calls for an increase of 3 times the existing number of cameras, and the upgraded equipment will provide features like vehicle license plate recognition and higher resolution images for the use in investigation and, where necessary, prosecution. The enhanced system will also provide a platform that can be used for enforcement such as speeding and traffic violations. The contract with BS Serco is for 5 years at a cost of $1.3 million. The sum is within the budgeted figure for this service, and we expect that the people of Bermuda will see their value for money in this invaluable crime-fighting tool. Pending the preparation of the BS Serco's platform for the installation of the new network, Get Securities will continue to provide CCTV service. This includes maintenance and repair, as well as monitoring through the rest of this fiscal year. It is anticipated that there will be no loss of coverage, and the two companies are working together to ensure a seamless transition. This initiative is designed to provide maximum coverage for Bermuda and to improve the safety and security for all of us. This is a crime-fighting tool, not a big brother intrusion into the lives of law-abiding citizens. Used effectively, we provide the police with the opportunity to prevent and investigate crime, and prosecutors an additional opportunity to secure sound convictions. In closing, in the midst of all this technology and the promotion of smart policing, nothing can take the place of community involvement. These cameras cannot take the place of strong neighborhood watch groups that are contributing to various safety around the island. And I would also like to take this opportunity to urge the public to use the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline to provide information to law enforcement in a totally confidential way. After all, if you know something, say something. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Ladies first.
Mr. Donkley, I noticed you say it was a business decision by Cabinet, and you acknowledged the fact that that was the one, at the forefront when this thing took off. And I'm not sure how much you're prepared to say, but what was the thinking in that business decision to go? Was Sarko BAS's bid cheaper?
There were a number of companies that provided information in request to the RFP and it was shortened down to 3 individuals. The Bermuda Police Service did evaluation amongst all of those and decided that BS Serco offered the best package. There were a number of good packages out there, but this was just the best one that we saw at that time. And so we made the cabinet made the prudent decision to support the recommendation by the police and move forward. These type of decisions are always tough when you have reputable companies bringing forward good technology, and we know that they can deliver. It's always tough, but you have to make a decision.
Sure. And I guess it's a matter of preference, but I guess the fact that GET is headed up by a former police commissioner didn't carry any extra weight?
When you make decisions like this, there are a lot of things that you consider, and personalities can always come into play. But the decision-making process in this cabinet doesn't focus around personalities.
Okay,
it focuses around, so I want to be clear, it focuses around getting the best technology to do the best job at the best price available. And it was a tough decision amongst 3 very good players in this for the RFP, and we feel we've made a good decision.
Do you care to say who the other players were?
No.
Okay, you mentioned that this is a crime-fighting tool, not a big brother intrusion. Just on that little issue, what do you say to those who have this mindset that having cameras is going to solve things? Because technically there was a lot of debate about whether cameras were working or not. When in actual fact, police may have had footage that showed somebody with a full face visor and no license plate. So it's not going to solve it. Can you just speak to that concern, please?
As we've said over and over and over again, that every tool that we can use to help us make Bermuda safer, we'll use. We've seen in a number of cases where the current camera system has been effective in helping us solve crime, and we've seen other cases where the camera system has stimulated members of the public to come forward because of something that they've seen on that system that's come out there. So we need to use every tool, because at the end of the day, we want Bermuda to be a safer, more secure place for all of us, and it's clearly been shown in the 4 years that we've had this current system in place that it has been effective, and we can continue to build on that and expand it island-wide and for other uses as well, as I've mentioned already.
Okay, and just one final, it's not directly related, but can I just get an official comment on this tragic incident from you as public safety minister on the death of this young child?
Certainly very saddened by learning of the incident last night. It's too early to make any more detailed comment than that. I just think we all need to step back for a minute and pray for the family and the friends of the victim, and recognize that life is short, and we need to do all we can to strengthen our fellow brothers and sisters as they cope with a difficult situation.
Thank you.
Mr. Darby.
Minister, when the CCTV service first came to Bermuda and was introduced to the public, the expert, I recall, saying 2 things. One, the positive side of it all was that in most countries where it had been used, the total number of crime went down. Have we had that experience? That's my first question.
That would be a question that I think would be more appropriate for the police commissioner to answer. Our system's only been around for 4 years, but clearly I think you've seen over the past 6 to 9 months that the police have said that total crime has gone down, and I think as we go forward we'll continue to see statistics that we can measure that too.
Second question was the negative, that people then move their scene of crime away from where the cameras are. Is that always a risk?
It's always a risk, but then that just means that the police have to devote resources to areas that are challenged for them at the time. You know, it's kind of like me with the cookie jar. My wife catches me with my hand in the kitchen with a cookie jar. The next thing I'm going to go to the freezer and try to get one of the batches she's got there. Eventually, she's going to catch me there too.
You did say $1.3 million. You left the word out per year, but you meant per year.
Yeah, sorry, per the year, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Member of the media?
Thank you.
The current camera system we have for these St. Monica's Mission, Court Street, some of the areas, the cameras have not been working for over a year. Are you going to guarantee that that will be corrected?
Well, I'm not. I don't believe that your information is correct. When we heard concerns that cameras weren't working after the most recent murder. We looked into it. We've been in constant communication with Get Securities, and as of last I checked, last Friday, all the cameras were working. Get has assured us they will continue to stay on top of that, and they will provide reports of what is working and what is not working and what they're doing to fix it. I think, Trevor, you need to understand that, you know, any technology can be fickle at times, and with the weather that we get, whether it be violent thunderstorms and things like that, cameras can come and they can go. I have confidence in Get in fixing these cameras, and we'll stay close in touch with them to make sure that they are working.
Those that are monitoring the cameras, they work for Get Services. What happens there? Circuit takes over the complete operation.
That's something that we'll discuss more in 6 months' time when the changeover takes place. It's too premature to say that, but I feel comfortable that there's going to be a reasonable situation to be worked out in that matter.